What's up, everybody, man? It's your boy, your host with the most, your boy Dub Q in the building, man. And I'd like to welcome you guys to the Black Cat Panther podcast, man. You are in the right place. Make sure as you come on in, we wipe your feet off on the mat. You like, you comment, you subscribe to this video. I have a feeling that this is going to be a good one. And as you see the title, the Carolina Panthers are now sitting amongst a dysfunctional organization. Ooh, as the more time sits in, as the more we sit and we go week after week as we get into the season, more layers to the onion starts to peel and unravel. Um, at 0-5, Frank Wright goes up to the podium and then he begins to start telling his side of the story of what's going on here in Carolina. Because at 0-5, a lot of the unwanted or unheralded blame has been going on him about the play calling situation and about a lot of different things that we've been seeing here in Carolina. And I believe that Frank is basically coming out to the public and saying, hey, it's not me. I want to make sure I lay this out for everybody. It is not me. It is your owner. It is your owner that has you in this situation, not myself. Um, in doing so, everyone knows number one that the Carolina Panthers took Bryce Young and decided that hey, this after April they were going to move forward. Bryce Young was the guy. There were reports out back during April that everybody in the Panthers organization agreed on Bryce Young. There were stories that Scott and Frank and all and Tepper and all put in names into who they wanted as their quarterback, and they all came back with Bryce. And now it's seeming to be coming out that that was not the case. It seems to be that the case is Frank Wright was all bought in on C.J. Stroud. He was also had his eyes looked at on Anthony Richardson at one time. And if you guys remember, Thomas Davis went out to, I believe it was NFL Network, and said he didn't like it, and he know that Frank Wright, the rumblings that he was hearing upstairs was that he did not want to uh, pick AR-15 over Bryce Young, and so the consensus is to anyone with two eyes and ears knows that you saw Frank Wright on draft day and how upset that he looked. You saw the look on his face after he had just made this pick. And I said it, Goat said it himself. We all took a time and we said, this didn't seem like he didn't seem too excited to say that, hey, he just picked his quarterback, the guy that he wanted, the guy that he said he had his name on the paper. And, the three of them guys came to one consensus that he was the guy. And for good reasoning. Now it comes out that he was more enamored with CJ Stroud, and you could see it on the pro day, you could see it on the combine. You saw the admiration that he had. He couldn't stop smiling when he saw that guy. He was just as excited as he can be. And Frank Wright, from what we have what we've been led to believe that this guy right here is, CJ Stroud was going to be the next coming. He saw it automatically. He has an eye. He has a knack for quarterbacks, and he allowed himself to be talked into going with Bryce Young. So he went up to the podium, and the number one thing he said was, "Hey, this guy, David Tepper, is basically owner that that's very inclusive on a lot of the stuff that's going on. They have weekly meetings. They come in together and talk about what's going on, and they really didn't come to a consensus because he said, first of all, if your coach is going up to the podium and letting everybody know that, hey, I did not want this guy as my quarterback, what does that do for your young quarterback that you went ahead and selected? Like, what does that do for his confidence? Rough, rough, right? But let's get into it. I'm gonna showcase this video because I want to kind of walk you guys into what's going on in Carolina.
I don't want to speak too much for him, obviously, but there's different philosophies in ownership. You know what I mean? Some owners kind of stay away and don't engage a whole lot. Other owners do, and his philosophy is he's going to engage. And
I'm gonna stop that right there. He said some owners stay away. Some owners' philosophy is he's going to engage. So in other words, no matter what I do, no matter what I say as a coach, no matter what thoughts that I have, because I'm a former football player, a former quarterback, a former guy that's played the game for over close to 20 years, no matter what I think about the situation, it's not good enough because your billionaire owner who bought the team is saying, okay, no, you're gonna have to check that and run that by me. Hasn't played a lick of football, but you gotta have to run that by me. It's not a good look when your owner is that inclusive on every aspect of what's going on the team. Because a lot of the owners, they allow the coaches to come in, allow them to run the team in whichever way, shape, or form they see. And the only way that you really see them is if something is going bad or as if something is, going unusually well. So the fact that he's meeting with the coach and the owner and the GM periodically every Monday is a problem. It's a problem. But let's finish this video.
And listen, it's only been a short experience, but it's been a really good experience. It hasn't been fun. It's not fun.
So wait, how is it a good experience, but it hasn't been fun? Look, this baffles me because what he's saying, it's not a good experience working with your owner because it's not fun. But I'll just watch this.
Those meetings aren't. I wouldn't characterize them as fun meetings, but those meetings make me better, and I trust they make us better.
So in other words, in those meetings, David Tepper probably scolded him, talking shit to him, cussing him, all kinds of stuff. And we all know that Frank Wright is not that guy that's going to go head first or is going to rear back up at an owner. But he does have football knowledge, and if he gives you his expertise on what he sees and knows, David Tepper should not be so inclusive to the point that he tunes his coach out. That is a big problem. This is where I'm sitting at with this. You don't want to be to the point where your coach is going to the podium and stating his case because there's a lot of blame to go around at 0-5, and your coach is basically saying, hey, this guy right here is just doing too damn much. Look, I've been a part of some organizations, but I've never seen a guy that's more hands-on than this guy. Some owners, like 𝐥𝐤𝐳, sat back and let me do my job. This guy right here wants me to check in with him every Monday. Come on, bro. Here we go.
How does he usually engage? Like on a Monday morning, and what was the conversation like this morning?
No, it's either usually Monday later in the day or sometimes more recently is usually on Tuesday, because Mondays are pretty busy. We got the players in here. He's got stuff going, so Monday's pretty jam packed. So it's usually either late in the day, Monday, or many times it's Tuesday.
Has he talked to you, Frank, at all about any potential staff changes?
No.
To go back to 𝐦𝐨𝐫𝐞 for a second,
So it's one of the things where he is getting frustrated now because they even asked him about the frequency of how they meet. Look, when I tell you this is a dysfunctional mess, later on in the video, they asked him about Bryce Young and the selection about Bryce Young. And he said that, basically he was all in on C.J. Stroud. And Bryce Young, the owner, really wanted, Bryce Young. That is unacceptable for a franchise right now to be this far apart on decisions that should bring the franchise together. I mean, if you're looking at why we aren't successful, it starts between your head coach, your GM, and your owner not being on the same page. Look no further. But I'm going to tell you, man, I got more of this coming. I got more clips that's going to be coming. If you haven't already, make sure you come on in, you comment, you like, you subscribe to the channel. Show us that love. We're going to start. Look, I'm going to be real with you guys. We have started a GoFundMe for this dysfunction because we want to get a billboard to raise awareness to what's going on. We need to let David Tepper know that we as people, we as consumers of this product, we're tired of going through the dysfunction. Now, maybe he likes a little bit of toxicity every week on a Monday, but we don't. I mean, the number one thing is we want to draw awareness to what's going on and let them know that the fans have had enough. We are tired of the losing. There is no reason to go from 7-10 with Steve Wilkes to come into 0-5, forcing a coach to take a player that you fell in love with, and the coach told you from the get-go he didn't want because he had a specific guy that he wanted to coach, but you, with no NFL experience, is out here telling the coach what he should do. No NFL experience. This is why we're in the mess. If you're watching this video, you're 0-5 for a reason. It's your owner, David Tepper, jumping the damn gun. Please, the GoFundMe is going to be in the bottom of the chat. Please hit the description and show that love. We're going to raise awareness to this, and let's get to it as we do. Man, this has been your boy, 𝐥𝐢𝐤, and I would like to welcome you guys to the Black Cat Panther Podcast.